Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we've got a really fun blacksmith build for you. It is a singular skill build, so we run Divine Legacy, Devastating Blow and Focused Mind. However, even though we've got Devastating Blow, we aren't doing any direct damage as far as I know with the build, so we can't run the Demolition Expert, a passive upgrade from the Cobalt Brothers. The reason I say that is we're going to be using this weapon, the Unholy Claymore today, and that gives us Ray of Doom and Obliterate. Although Obliterate itself says it deals damage, from what I've seen and personally experienced with the Blacksmith's weapon, it doesn't do that. It only does Doom damage. So we're going to be, going off of that and only playing with that. The other runes are Unconventional Start, Reroll Mastery, Endless Refill, and then Divine Legacy, Devastating Blow, and Focused Mind. So we're actually starting off with Aruanak and the weapon, of course. So there we go, nice early start to it. And then we're going to start off fighting against Aruanak. We can get a couple of things. One, if we get Doom to... what is it? Doom to... Poison to Doom. So no, it's not going to work that way. But the reason we do Aruanak is actually because of the Doom passive that you can get from the Spider, which allows you to gain more Doom damage, or have a chance for the Doom damage to apply instantly. So that's the whole point of it. The skill does have Cunning as well, and we should be pretty good once we start increasing the amount of ones that we get. So 107% crit chance right off the bat is absolutely bonkers. I'm not going to run expansive. I don't think we need it, and you'll see why eventually. But the most important thing is going to be things like critical strike damage, crit chance, so that the crit damage is multiplied, and things like that. So multicast, very good. Cast frequency is going to be very good. We are going to get quite a lot of finesse as well, especially when we start adding more and more units to it instead of just a single one. So that's going to help quite a lot as well. Now, another thing is, because we've got Divine Legacy and because we're playing with a single skill, we actually do not need things like the powerful strikes and all those upgrades. We'll stick to a Relentless now until I see a specific one for an upgrade for the cast frequency here, because sometimes there's only 3 things that you can get for a skill. If a skill doesn't scale with a cast frequency, then you're not going to see the cast frequency upgrade in there. So sometimes skills don't get cast frequency. Yes, I know every single skill kind of scales with it, but what I mean is it's not a priority. So I think like things like aura skills and stuff like that, sometimes seeing you'll see area of effect for them instead of something like a cast frequency, and then you need to use the Relentless to get your cast frequency down. Whereas this skill might need cast frequency, so you might not see what is it? Well, we saw damage already, so you're probably not going to see cast frequency for the skill being the one, but we'll see just because of the way that it runs. But lots of damage upgrades over there. To get all of that, we need more movement speed. Critical strike chance, again, we can get as much crit as we want. As soon as we get to 200%, that's double the amount of critical damage per strike, which is fantastic. So the way that multi-crit works is, instead of you critting multiple times, all it does is gives you a true crit number, which will be the number of however many times you could have crit times by your critical damage, and then that does that damage for you instead of a single crit hit, if that makes any sense to you. But if it doesn't, I can put it down in the description just in case it's some knowledge that you want. But there is a mega sheet, and there is a guide on the official Discord written by Misa that can be used to get all this weird and wonderful information on the game as well. Okay, more lethality. We need some movement speed. Damage outweighs everything else. Increase the damage of every doom you apply can also be very good for us. There is cast frequency on this, so we can get rid of the relentless cast frequencies in the game as well. So that's pretty good to know as well. So I think area of effect is the one that we don't get, because multicast is actually quite important for this weapon. So I think it is area for the specific weapon that we're not going to see the upgrade to. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because someone actually mentioned it yesterday. They wanted to know, hey, which upgrades do you get to see for which skills. And the problem is that there's no database for this. I'm sure I could probably get one, or you just play with every single skill in the game and then you write it down or make a Google spreadsheet. But that's a lot of a time, and I don't think anyone has done something like that. If they have, kudos to you. I would love to see that information myself. But otherwise, it's something you have to do in like your own time, or maybe someone's done it. That would be fantastic if they have. Okay, we definitely need a lower cooldown though. Got ourselves a nice legendary +2 there earlier, so that's definitely going to help a lot with damage. But don't you worry, this does become quite insane, because we are going to end up having multiple +2s throughout the time. Every time we get to level 25 levels, we are going to get a +2, and we should be able to get a ruin upgrade as well. So we can actually get a +2, a ruin, as well as something else. So what we do here is there we go. So you can get both the +2s and the ruin every 25 levels. So it's going to be quite an insane run with regards to damage. Hopefully, at least. You will notice sometimes their HP itself goes down. That's one from ruin, but also there is a claymore attack. But when I tested this with numbers on, and the claymore attack, the obliterated version of the skill, so the first skill version, really didn't do a lot of damage, physical damage or direct damage. So I was like, okay, well, devastating, or the demolition expert really isn't worth it, because you're not actually getting that much use out of the direct damage. So that's when I decided, it's actually better for us to move away from that and just take ourselves something that's going to give us a little bit more damage or control over everything, and go from that instead. Another thing is we don't need exposed from Mizahet, so it's like, well, what do we actually go with? And I actually haven't decided. We might do critical damage and cast frequency. That's a pretty good one from the Midorak. There's also the other stuff from the other bosses. So the new Titan gives us health and damage. That's also a really good one to grab, and things like that. So we'll see what the game gives us. Gonna grab a little bit of defenses there when there's nothing better to grab, but also a nice dodge there. 3 dodges, always better than 2. Alright, we have how many? 5 of them. Lots of doom stacks. What would be really good is adding on a skill like Reap or Shadow Spark, or the brand new skill for the Chaos Walker, where we actually use Doom to scale damage. So that's pretty cool. But here we go, Fangs of Doom, really, really cool. Grab that. We're actually on 139% critical strike chance as well. And now we can kind of go with whatever we want. We could grab everything. We'll do Midorak for the critical damage and the cast frequency. I think that's going to be quite a fun one to grab. And we'll grab another Aruanak. Then we'll grab the Felipox, and we'll have the double Doom and lots of damage. If we land up getting a loot goblin in the next Aruanak stage, then we will use it, because why not? Why not have triple Doom damage on this one and just be super lucky? Not something you can copy, but if you get the loot bug, definitely get a double Aruanak if possible. Alright, Doom stacking now. Of course, lethality, Doom. Lethality and Doom. That's all we want. Doom damage, Doom stacks, all the juicy stuff. The one thing I haven't seen is crit chance. So Doom on crit. Very rare passive sometimes. And then there's other times where you get them like all the time. That's crazy. Alright, there we go. Another ruin, +2. And hopefully we don't lag out as much as I did previously, because we absolutely can. Also, another thing is we don't even have if you don't want to run the +2 with the Divine Legacy, you can run the advanced tactics to get brittle, which will help quite a bit, because brittle's all damage, not just direct damage. And that should definitely help us. Alright, these guys have cunning, so we just got to make sure we stand near the enemies we want to defeat, and then we can defeat them quite easily. Alright, so boss fight now, let's go. +1, I'll take it. More damage. I'm going to grab a bit more movement speed for myself, getting to about... I always felt like 100% movement speed was enough, but I guess that depends on the character. Maybe more characters have better movement speed in their skill tree. And unfortunately, with the Blacksmith not having such access to things, his movement speed does feel slightly weaker than others. We are sitting on a lot of multicast chance actually. 330 finesse is quite a decent amount of multicast, and that's why the actual skill, the rays of Doom, are shooting out more than 2 or 1 Doom specifically. Also, I really do wish I could tell you whether this HP bar is going down because of the Doom, the Ruin skill, or if it's just because of the fact that we do have that extra physical damage hit coming in from the actual primary skill damage. But I actually don't know. I cannot tell you whether or not it is. When I did this with skill numbers on, the damage numbers weren't being done enough as a physical hit. So it could be that the actual skills themselves can only apply Doom, even though the original skill of the Death Knight is a direct damage skill, if that makes sense. Or I just didn't see it because there was so much Doom on my screen. Anything's possible. Okay, more Doom. Why not? Another +2 and cast frequency. I will take that. A +1 over there. A little bit more movement speed, and I think we're good to go. We could land up going... No, we're not going to do it. It's just like a convoluted way to get there. I was going to say we can go to burn and then from burn to whatever, but no, it's just like a roundabout way of getting to something, and then you're filling up the passive pool with stuff that you're not necessarily going to want or need. We could grab Shattered. That could be quite helpful. But as you can see, loads of Doom damage. The boss just explodes at the end once the bar is low enough. And we get... Oh, okay, this one, I don't know what happens with passives now. So instead of just grabbing the Ruin, we just go for the one. We're going to grab the critical damage and cast frequency, of course, like we mentioned. And back to Aruanak to get a second one of the Fangs of Doom. And then after that, we'll do Felipox for the life and cast frequency. It's interesting that it's cast frequency. Oh, it's not damage. It's damage. It's not cast frequency. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. Add a bit of block power just for the sake of having it. Just so we've got that little bit of defenses. Reduce damage taken and apply more Doom. And it looks like having that extra critical damage definitely made a big difference. I didn't remove crit damage. We haven't really seen a lot of it. Or I just haven't taken a lot of the upgrades. So right now, every upgrade we're taking there, you can see we just took more critical damage. Because that's 36%, I believe, plus 36% more damage, I guess. Damage. We probably don't need movement speed much longer. Same with magnetic, but we'll keep it for big ones. And then we'll remove them. Because we're not taking any passives that are going to remove movement speed from us. If we were, then we would be worried about that. But we're not, so it doesn't really matter. See if we can get to 200% crits. Okay, one thing is you're going to have to kind of... Luckily, the skill isn't on us. So we can actually just run around on the edges and have the bosses do their attacks via range. and it gives us a lot of safety because we've got cunning on the actual skills. So like I'm saying, we can run around on the edge, have them attack us and miss with all their slots while they are busy exploding from doom, like so. So there we go, nice and easy. The summons don't taunt, but they do get damaged. There we go. Nice and easy. We've got another 3 to go, so we'll do this one and the one in the front. Let's grab the multicast. +1 damage. How many of these do we have? 15. I think if we go to like 20 or so. Oh, that's not that. Where is it there? Yeah, if we go to about 20 or so, then we'll be in a very good spot, I think. Oh, we can actually... Oh, I'm being silly. Wait, let's just do this. Damage. I should have gone for the upgrade there. There was a nice big, what was that, damage or multicast or something. Nice and easy. Another +2. We're on 18 of them so far. We action 195 critical strike chance as well. Let's get that to a 200% quickly. We got one more. Let's just get the crit. Oh, there we go. Finally, we found a grim precision. So we finally found critical strike chance to apply doom now as well. And that's a 50% chance. So even more doom. And now let's check the difference between our first Aruanak fight and this one. Ooh, definitely starting to feel the lags. There we go. Still looking for the crit. There we go. Beautiful. So 200% critical strike chance. That is gorgeous to have. We're going to go and grab the Philipox now for the damage as well as the HP. So we'll go to about 600% HP or 600 HP. Alright, now we just want to stack Doom. We can get rid of the crit. I'm not going to go over 200%, so I'm not worried about it. Then we can just stack the crit damage now as much as possible. And then with 200% crit chance, we guarantee to have a double crit bonus. There's a mountain there. This could be quite a bad area for... because you don't know what you're running into, as you can see. Okay, one is going down, which is beautiful. Weird that the one boss isn't taking as much damage as the others, even though they're all standing in the exact same area, if that makes sense. But there we go, all done. Bosses are quite difficult. I think the first time I played this, I did not do it on a +8 difficulty level. I think I just did it on a Sigil of the Void, so things did actually get destroyed relatively quicker, where now we actually we struggle a bit. I need to get rid of the movement speed. We don't need it. I think we can get rid of block and armor as well. There we go. So everything we see now is just going to be a Doom and other beautiful things like multicast and so on. Getting a lot of crits now, which is beautiful. Another ruin, of course. Our ruin is sitting on 240%. So whenever you apply Doom, 240% of the Doom is instantly done as normal damage effect. So, does it say normal damage effect? In addition to the normal effect, sorry. So, lots of Doom is what we want now. We just got another +2 to our weapon. So, even more of them. There's now 23 in total. running around with doom spirals everywhere. And I think I don't know if it's because this is an easier one, but the damage has already increased significantly just from the increasing the ruin, increasing the damage, and so on and so forth.
If the Chaos Walker's watching, I bet she's smiling. Come on.
Okay, beautiful. Cast frequency, another +2. If we go for too many, we are going to have to... Oh, let's just grab the Doom here. If we keep getting too many stacks, so more and more and more of them, eventually it will completely lag us out. So we don't actually want that many of them. I think we might be actually getting to the point where we're going to start lagging ourselves out, especially against the corrupted Void Hunter. So we've got to be a little bit careful there. We're just going to increase the Doom damage. That's obviously going to increase the Ruin damage, as well as the skills damage overall. Might need to just lower it a bit so I can see what's happening over here, because I don't actually know this boss fight's move set quite just yet. Alright, nice and easy. Okay, no, 25 is enough. We'll leave it at 25. And then over here, increase damage as well as max HP. And let's go and fight the corrupted Void Hunter. Actually, for a silly little build, this is a wacko. So the fact that we can do this with a single skill without devastating, without the devastating blow actually having an effect because it doesn't deal direct damage, is absolutely bonkers. I mean, if you tried this on any other character with a single skill and not taking advantage of devastation, you would actually be in a lot of trouble. But because the Blacksmith is absolutely bonkers, because there are summons as well, and just because the overall damage, I guess, is just there, it's actually quite funny. Okay, again, just increase the amount of Doom. And we do have to move around, unfortunately. There's a +4 objective over here. Please don't be a boss. Beautiful. When it's not bosses, it goes super quickly. There we go. There's another +4 down here. Oh, and another... Oh, goodness. Okay, wait. Oh, okay, wait. That's a boss fight. We'll just wait. Is this one a boss fight? No, it's not. Let's go do this one quickly. We just got to make sure we're moving. Oh, we get a loot goblin over here, which we will use. Actually, we can't use him because you have to fight the corrupted Void Hunter before you lose the loot goblin. So that's a bit unfortunate. More ruin, more damage. Again, oh, Merciless is actually also very good here. I'm not going to do that. We'll just do damage because I don't want to lag out. Alright, final objective. Again, don't want that. What happens if we do... Okay, just grab the rune, I guess, and then damage over there. It's quite a difficult one because I do want to use as many as possible, but at the same time, once you get to a certain threshold of them, you are definitely going to lag out, and you don't want to. You want to have fun without your FPS dropping to the negatives, or crashing the game. You spend a long time in the game, so when it crashes, it's quite upsetting. Alright, there we go. And we are going to have to turn it down for the corrupted Void Hunter. But let's go and grab more Doom and more Merciless as well. And damage. Don't need that Doom, we need the Doom damage. 1010% more. So this one we are going to have to lower visibility. Especially against someone like the Paladin. Just got to stay away from the area of effects. Oops. Oh, okay. Somehow we missed that or did damage, and we do have a little bit of FPS lag, but there we go. Done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely beyond happy for the fact that we got that. That was absolutely crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed showing it to you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.